Greetings from the right coast. This is Mad Shad. So, what are we going to talk about today? Weapons safety and conditions. Alright. First, I want to go over the two different types of weapons, and types of weapons too. There's single action and double action. And this is very important, especially when it involves carrying. Later on in our future, it is quite apparent that we're going to need this knowledge, and just having a gun and saying, "Yeah, I got one," don't mean shit. And also, if you're going to be working with groups, training with groups or mags, or be expected to be with a group, you need to know a few basic fundamentals. There's 5 universal laws, universal rules, and then 5 conditions. And then there's 2 types of actual, we're going to be dealing with pistols, 2 actual types of pistols, double action and single action. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the 5 rules. Is treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot or destroy. Keep your finger straight and off that trigger until you intend to fire. And keep the weapon on safe until you intend to fire. And of course, the newer one is to always be sure of the backdrop of your target. So, that being said, 2 types of weapons. There's 2 types of weapons out there. Double action and single action. And they play a little differently when you're going to carry them. Start with single action first. And first and foremost, we're going to treat every weapon as if it were loaded. I'm going to drop the magazine. Alright. I work from this space. This is where I work. And I like to point the barrel in a safe direction. Usually in front of me and downward. Okay? So, I'm going to pull the slide to the rear, locking it back, and I'm going to ensure, I'm going to look down the barrel in the chamber, look down the magazine well, usually the magazine well, and I'm going to look in the back, and there's nothing there. So, we know that this is a safe weapon. Okay? So, go ahead and make that safe. This is a single action weapon. The only way it works is if the hammer is cocked back. I don't know if you can see that. The hammer is cocked back. And this is a 1911 model. We're all, you have to do press, and the safety is on or off. So the only way it's going to fire is if I take that safety off and pull and depress this safety mechanism in the back. Only then will this weapon fire. Okay? So now, I fire the weapon. Alright? Let's say you've taken the weapon and loaded a round, and you've decocked the hammer. It won't go on safe because, well, there's just no need. So what happens when you're faced with the situation where you have to pull your weapon and discharge it? Okay? Got to know the condition of your weapon. You got to know the type of weapon. This is a single action weapon. So I go to pull it. Okay? Weapon's off safe. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. This kind of weapon, you have to carry it. The hammer cocked, the safety on. Okay? That's the only way you can do it. Alright, try again. I've prepped the weapon. Now, I know it's not going to fire. Why it's like, it has a 2-part process to make this operation. 3-part, actually. So, I have to first get purchase of the weapon. Okay? Then I got to take it off safe, which I usually do right here. And then I can fire. All right. Let's try that again. Put the weapon on safe. The hammer is cocked back. Weapon is on safe, so I know this thing is ready to fire. Okay? All right. So from here, I go here. I get purchase on the weapon, engaging the first safety, which is the grip safety. All right? And from here, I take the weapon, remember that safety, off safety, and now I'm ready to fire. Okay? That's a single action. Double action. I'm missing a magazine here. So, to make sure we're all on the same page here, weapon, you see the magazine, there's nothing in the magazine. You see, once again, I'm going to do my check. I'm going to look down the barrel, look in the magazine weld, and there we go. I know that this weapon is safe. Okay. Hit the slide, let it go forward. And I'm going to decock the hammer. The way you decock the hammer is, if you don't have a decocker, you push down on the hammer, you pull the trigger, and ride it forward, ever so slightly. You don't want to slam it forward, especially if you've got a round in the chamber. Anyway, we're going to go over that. So I just do it like that. Boom, done. Okay. So we know this is a safe weapon. So from here, I know. All right, let me just show you this. Weapon is off safe. Hammer is forward. And watch what happens when I pull the trigger. It fires. This is a double action weapon. If I pull the trigger, it's a hard, now mind you, it is a very hard trigger pull. Very hard trigger pull. This is the difference between a double action and single action. It's kind of like a built-in safety, if you will. I can carry it like this. Now, when I pull this weapon and produce this weapon and go to fire, it's going to be a hard trigger pull. And so your tendency is to move around a bit. Under stress, it's going to be harder. So after that, let me just drop this magazine because it's going to be easier. Say, first shot is a double action shot. Boom. Weapon fires, cycles. The hammer now goes back to the rear. And now I can make a second shot in single action. Because now there's only one action that's involved in making this weapon fire. Another thing is trigger control. You'll notice that my first shot, big long trigger squeeze all the way to the end. Boom, fires, cycles. Okay, now I'm still depressing the trigger, right? So if I let off, you'll hear a click. You hear it. You hear the click and you'll feel the click. And now your second fire will be boom. It's very useful if you're going to make rapid fires. You can do controlled pairs, hammers, failure to stop drills. You can go boom, boom, boom. And so that's how Jerry Muchalek makes all those crazy shots. That's how he makes this weapon, turns any weapon he wants into a freaking automatic. You've seen him turn revolvers into automatics. You can do the exact same thing with a semi-automatic, just with that, knowing that trigger, travel, and pull. Okay, now that's a single action. That's the advantages of a single action. Is I can pull this weapon. I can store it just like this, and if I have to, it's very safe. I know that this weapon is not going to fire because the trigger itself has a huge trigger pull, like 7, 8 pounds, maybe, who knows. So I get purchase on the weapon, I bring it up, and I can literally get off a shot here, and I know, okay, I gotta cycle through it. I've cycled through the weapon, and now my second shot will be even crisper. It's very, very useful tool. That's the advantages of carrying a double action revolver, a double action semi-automatic pistol. Okay, so that's the difference between a single action and double action. People that have single actions, I love. This is a 45, and that's just the way you do it. I've had the safety come off, especially if you're going to carry, if you're going to concealed carry. But that grip safety has to be depressed before it can fire. Safety and depress. So it's like two safeties. So I know that when I pull this weapon, right? When I pull this weapon and it's on safe, okay, I have to get a good purchase on that weapon. Okay, you notice how it's going straight up from my my wrist. Okay, and from here I can hit that safety, and now I can get on target. Now notice I'm not looking down with one eye. I just keep both eyes open because I want to get that shot off. Okay, and that takes a little bit of practice, and that's why we get into dry fire. We'll go over that in maybe a different time. But basically, I dry fire a lot, pulling from whatever, the concealed or from the side, from the rear. You just go through it all and dry fire cycle, and you can get that good trigger discipline and that correct sight picture, correct sight alignment. Let's just say that none of the doorknobs and switch plates in my house are safe. They've been shot several times, and then what that does is that gets you that good muscle memory, so that you can boom, 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 you know, and then you can do reload drills. We'll go through that in a bit. So the four conditions. I like this guy. So, condition number 4. All right, condition number 4 is chamber empty, magazine empty, hammer down. Okay. This, I think, can also be condition 4. This is a safe weapon. This is when you get that command to unload, show clear. You slide to the rear, magazines out of it, and so you can make that inspection, and you can show to the range officer, whoever that is, that yes, you are indeed safe weapon. You know, you are ready to go. So condition 3. All right, chamber empty, full mag. Say, hypothetically speaking, we have a full mag. All right, chamber is empty, mag is full, hammer is down. So hypothetically speaking, I've just loaded a full magazine. So now this is condition 3. So that's basically all I need to know. If you ever get the command to make ready or load, you've just made a condition 3 weapon. You went from condition 4, or absolutely totally safe inert weapon, to condition 3 by loading the pistol. So condition 2, very indicative of pistols, is round and chainer. So I've taken condition 3, and now I've made it, got a round in the chamber. All right, that's round in chamber, full magazine, hammer back or hammer forward, hammer down, hammer forward, and it doesn't matter about safe. It's not going to go on safe. And this is a single action. So all right, so I'm in condition 2. very indicative. There's a round in the chamber, there's a full magazine, and the hammer is forward. Okay? That's a condition 2. Condition 1, very, very simple. In a single action, I have to pull the hammer back and put it on safe. Notice my fingers straighten off the trigger at all times, and I'm pointing this weapon in a safe direction. This is my workspace right here. This is my box. I keep it right here. This is where I work. I don't work over here. I don't work over here. I don't point it anywhere. I point it right here. That way. Okay? Downrange, at the target, or in a safe angle or vector in front of me. Okay? So, we're now condition 1. We are ready to fire. So, you would get the command load, and you go to condition 3. Make ready. You'll go to condition 1. Stand by and fire. You take the weapon off safe and pull the trigger. You are now in condition 0. I never knew about the condition 0. That's a new one for me. That tells you how old I am. Used to only be 4, but now there's 5. Condition 0. You're in the action of firing. You fired rounds and you're going to be continuously firing rounds, and that's condition 0. Chamber is full. Chamber is there's a round in the chamber. There's a magazine inserted, and you're depressing the trigger, and the hammer is cocked and fired. Now, condition 1, with a single action, that's how you do it. Remember, to carry a fully loaded weapon, condition single action you have to pull the hammer back, put it on safety, and then you can carry it. Okay? I hate these things. Wish I could take them off. Thought I could. Anyway, I usually lock them in for instructional purposes only. Anyway, you're coming here for a double action. Exact same thing, if not easier. You don't have to cock it. You could. Single action, you could. So, same thing. Chamber empty. Chamber empty. Magazine empty. Bolt forward. Hammer down. And then that's a condition for a weapon. So we know that's a condition for a weapon. I hate this thing. Oh. Come on, you're embarrassing me. Anyway, it's a very, very finicky weapon here. So I was going to show it as safe. See that? Look at that. I love that gun. Does that shit. This is my EDC, by the way. Double action EDC. That's definitely what I carry out and about. This, of course, is my 45 is my war weapon. Yeah, same thing. I've condition 4. Okay, I'm gonna go condition 4 to condition 3. I take a fully loaded magazine, which hypothetically speaking, this is a fully loaded magazine. Now I'm at condition 3. Okay, make condition 2. What? I don't know why I would make condition 2, but okay, fine. I've loaded. Round is now in the chamber, and to make condition 2, you have to ride that hammer forward. Okay? Now I can still fire with it, remember, because it's double action. I can do this. Boom, 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 boom. But it just takes more to do it. And now condition 1, I don't know. Double action, it doesn't really matter. All I have to do is, this says hammer cocked, but this is a double action, so it doesn't really matter. The cocking mechanism is the pull of the trigger. You can make it a single action. Go ahead. Condition 1. Boom. And now I'm at condition 1. I have the weapon on safe, magazine inserted, fully. Yeah. Little photobomb there. magazine inserted, rounded chamber, hammer cocked, safety gun. And so now I'm ready to fire. And then going to condition 0. Boom, there we go. So there's that. Unload, show, clear. All right, I'll drop the magazine and I'll show weapon safe. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and I'll holster it and move off the firing line. So that's double action, single action. Single action. Remember, I've got the hammer cocked back. It's on safety. It's not going to fire. There's no ram fire going to happen. There's, you know, even if the safety is somehow comes off, it's not going to fire unless you pull the trigger, or unless you depress that grip, take the weapon off safe, and then pull the trigger. That's the only way it's going to do that. So that's just basic, simple fundamentals everybody should know if you're going to be messing with a weapon, especially if you're going to be online with your mag. Okay? Another thing is, remember those 4 safety rules. Treat every weapon as if it was loaded. Never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot or destroy. Okay? Muzzle awareness. I know where this muzzle is pointing at all times. That being said, on the flip side, I also know if there's a weapon being pointed at me as well. And that has to be squashed. Do not tolerate that. Any kind of training whatsoever, safety is paramount. Okay? Just saying, if you've got some kind of crazy foot out there and he just thinks he's a freaking cowboy and he can just walk around with his gun just pointing at folks, squash that shit right away. Square him the fuck away right there, right now. Because he is a danger to you and others and possibly himself. So, these are the basic fundamentals that you must know and your team must know as well. All right. So, that being said, we know that ammo is expensive and hard to come by. It really is. There's some things you can do. Dry fire drills. Dry fire drills. Once again, make sure your weapon is completely safe before you start doing all this. Clear your weapon, just as I shown, and then you can dry fire. Dry firing, you literally work from right here, from pulling your weapon, okay, making sure that safety's off, okay. I'm gonna put this in a condition 1 because it's a single action, okay, and I work. I make sure I get a purchase on that weapon, nice, straight, and true. I come here, I take off the safety, and I get that correct sight picture, correct sight alignment. Boom. I get a good, nice stance, and boom. Now from here, you can sit here and do this, boom. You know, do that over and over and over again, or you can just do this, boom, boom. Okay, and just get that sight picture, because you can look at this gun with both eyes, and you don't have to freaking do this. That takes time. You don't want to do that. Okay, you want to present that weapon and get it on target, and get rounds down range, get rounds on the target. Okay, as soon as possible. And that's it, okay? So, go here. Another thing to do is you want to do reload drills, all right? So, do your same thing. Boom, 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 boom. All right, when you're done, when your pistol runs out of ammo, it's going to look like this. The slide is going to lock back to the rear. You're going to be able to see, oh, I have no ammo. Okay, so what do? You drop the magazine. Uh-oh. drop. Anyway, drop the magazine. Pull out another magazine. Hit the slide release. We're now ready to fire. Okay, same thing. Usually the magazines fall down. I think there's some shit going on here. There you go, look at that. Yeah. So, you always load, when you're doing your magazines, this is how you load your magazine. Just like this. Or when you reload, make sure it's facing the correct way. You don't want to put it in backwards. It's not going to go backwards. You load it just like that. So when you grab that thing, all right, you can grab it. So I come here, boom, drop the magazine. Notice I keep my hand right here. All right, my hand is up. My gun is not down this way. It's not like this. It's right here. All right, boom. I take the magazine and I see it. You see how I slap it? And I hit the thing, whatever. Boom, and I take the shot. So, another way. All right. So, I'm shooting. You see the gun. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Boom. I drop the magazine. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. Huh. I drop the magazine. Oh, magazine drops. I grab another magazine. Oh, I load it. I throw that slide forward. Now I'm ready to fire and continue firing until, of course, I run out again. Then keep going. Keep reloading. All right, that's just some basic, simple shit. It's just simple shit. All right, that's it. So I hope this has been very informative. Just train. And now more than ever, we have to train. And you need to train with other people as well. If you go out to the range and you're shooting with people, if you go and take a class or a course, these are the basic simple shit that you're going to be doing. And if you can't follow simple instructions of this nature, you're going to have a bad day. Okay? And you're putting others in danger. So I cannot stress the importance of doing these, of learning these drills, learning these conditions, learning these safety rules, and going for dry firing. I was kind of hesitant about doing this, and I don't even know if YouTube's going to allow me to do this. I'm not dealing with any kind of live rounds or anything, and I'm not inciting any kind of violence or anything. I'm just letting you know that this is how you do your tool. This is how you run your tool. You got to know what your tool is doing. Okay? So, that being said, I think we're done here. Go out there and train. This is Mad Shad, and I'm going to sign out.